Hey guys, we are back with the second episode of Models Talk. My name is Katerina.
And I'm Candace.
And today we are going to talk to Dessie Mitcheson.
And you know what? Dessie is a true girl next door because at 5'5", she has really beaten the odds. So I'm so excited. Let's go talk to Dessie. Dessie, you are a contestant in the Amazing Race 2018. You are the winner of Maxim Magazine's Hometown Hottie in 2013. And you were top 15 in Sports Illustrated, their first contest ever. So tell me, what was it like walking in the runway pageant?
Oh my gosh. Sports Illustrated was always a dream for me. So that was one of the highlights of my career so far, I would have to say, by far. It's something I always wanted to do, something I never thought I would have the opportunity to do. So when I got picked for the top 15, they cut it from 5,000 to 32 to 15.
Oh my gosh. Wait, 5,000 to 32 people to 15.
They flew 32 people to New York to meet with them, to shoot with them, just to get a feel for their personalities. And then from there, they cut it to 15. And we got to fly to Miami and do their first photo shoot for their first swimwear line and walk in Miami Swim Week, their first ever runway show.
Oh my gosh, well, you must have been on cloud nine.
I was. It was so much fun. You know, you're in the heat of Miami, and it was one of the best experiences. I'm so glad I got to do it. So it was their first ever open casting call, and anyone on social media could apply. And so when I saw that, I was like, I have to do it.
Right.
You know, there was no question in my mind. I knew I had to do it because I'm not signed with a huge agency. So that was my opportunity to get to meet them and pursue that dream. So I did that, and I made a video in my hometown at my parents' house because I was home for Easter at the time. And I was like, okay, I just got to do it here. I'd rather do it in LA, obviously, but it didn't work out that way. And they answered back through DMs. So it was a DM from Sports Illustrated Swimsuit.
Oh my gosh.
You made it to our top 32 or whatever it was. And then from there, I got the other emails to go to New York.
And you did it with your bestie, and she got to go with you, right?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. Did she make it to the top 32 or the top 15, both you guys?
We both made it to the top 15.
Oh my gosh.
Which made it so much, like, way more special than it already was. And they didn't know until we flew to New York for the top 32 that we were best friends. So they were ecstatic about it too. They're like, what are the odds we have two petite models in that, and they're best friends? So
like 15,000 people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now, you had mentioned your mom and dad. Now, I know you're not originally from LA. So where are you from? And then how did you end up making it here? Because when we first met, I remember you weren't living here.
Yes, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I was actually a hairstylist. So I never thought I was going to be a model. That was the last thing on my mind. I thought I was going to be a hairstylist. I thought I was going to own a hair salon.
Wow.
And I started modeling, and eventually I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move. And I'm really glad I did.
Because you also graduated with degrees.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I did really, really well in school.
Right.
And my father was against beauty school. He was like, you're not going to cosmetology school. You're going to college. So I applied to like 4 or 5 schools. I got in everywhere. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I followed my heart, and I ended up here in LA. Crazy.
But you followed your heart, because I remember the first time that you and I met was not actually with Viva Glam. It was with a beauty pageant. We were in Vegas together.
Yes, that's right.
Remember? And I remember you were using the beauty pageant as a tool to be able to get to LA.
Yes.
Right? And so how long did you do that? Because I remember you were part of the beauty pageant circle, and you did so well, and you were so successful.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I started doing pageants when I was 20. Basically because I was on vacation with my family in South Carolina, and my mom said, there was a bikini contest, and Mom said, you have to enter that.
Your mom said that?
Yes, and I was so against it. I was like, no, like, I was shy. It was like, no. And I did because she told me to, and I won. So then from there, I just kept doing them. And that's when I probably met you in Vegas.
That's right.
And so I think I did them for a good 3 years and met people and networked before I moved to California.
Right. Because I remember one of the things about you that I think that, okay, everybody in the beauty pageant is gorgeous, but what made you stand out to me was your personality. You've got this just amazing spark. You seriously do, you know, and you just have this positivity. And every time you walk into a room, and I always feel like you light the room up with your energy.
Oh, thank you.
You know, and I think that's one of the most, you know, special things about you. I really wanted to ask you, of all people, because you have a history in the beauty pageants, is that what did you think of the recent calling by Miss America that happened when they're talking about no longer having the swimsuit competition and the evening gown competition? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I always think Miss America was more for school, more for education than Miss USA. So I kind of think in that area of that pageant in particular, it kind of makes sense because it's not like they're ever doing appearances in swimwear. They're always more for school and education and different stuff like that, charities. So I'm glad that Miss USA is still doing swimwear and gowns, and then Miss America will just be its whole new own thing.
Well, okay, not to play devil's advocate, I just have to say though, to me, what is that competition? It's a...
The new one?
No, it's a beauty pageant. Right. So because it's a beauty pageant and you take out the beauty, I feel like it changes the definition of the whole thing. It might as well be a talent show, or you might as well go on, you know, America's Got Talent or The Voice or something. It doesn't make sense to me.
100%. Well, and I heard they're not calling it a beauty pageant anymore. I heard they're calling it like a competition, or they're taking out, I think, the word beauty pageant from the whole competition, I heard.
So it's Miss America competition.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that.
Because I think what's so great about you is I feel like you're the whole package, that you appreciate the fact that you are beautiful and you're feminine and you have grace, but you've got this, you know, amazing spunky personality. I feel like if I didn't, I'd want to judge you on your ability to rock a bikini. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree. And I mean, I support women wanting to show, we work hard for our bodies.
Exactly.
We want to show them off. And so I think that's why they're probably not going to call it a beauty pageant anymore, because you can't. If it's just interviews and a talent, then where is the part showing your personality and your beautiful side?
Right. I mean, like, how do you feel on the whole about society, and how you feel like now recently with the Me Too movement and everything, that we're kind of taking away, not letting women shine?
Yes.
And being beautiful. I mean, I think a lot about you is that you're the whole package.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I support women in wanting to show their sexy side even. Like, I'm that type of feminist. I want you to show it all. And like, if you feel comfortable doing something, do it.
Right.
So I think that's where it's going to take out the beauty from the competition, and a lot of those girls will probably end up doing Miss USA instead of Miss America.
Right, because they want to be able to show the whole thing.
They want to show off their bodies they worked hard for, and their beautiful evening gowns, and how they can grace a stage and with their presence.
Right, and some people may think, oh, it's just being narcissistic or something, but I think there's nothing wrong with like a healthy dose of narcissism to appreciate a beautiful woman on the whole.
I agree,
you know?
100%.
So like when you, because I know you're doing acting now as well, because you're here in Hollywood, so when you go out for these acting roles, what type of roles do you feel like you get cast as? I mean, do you feel like it's a benefit to be a beautiful woman, or do you feel like that stereotypes you? Is it, you know, is it a challenge for you to get more difficult or darker, grittier roles?
Right. So I'm still in the beginning stages of my acting career, but I definitely want to dive deeper into that. And yeah, I would say you get typecasted right away. They're like, okay, that's going to be the hot dumb girl. Okay, she can be like the cute cheerleader. So I definitely think so. And even when I met with my commercial agency for the first time, they were like, okay, you look too sexy. You need to wear less makeup. And I thought I didn't have a lot of makeup on.
I certainly don't even think you have that much makeup on now. I'm not even joking.
I thought I didn't have a lot of makeup on. They're like, less makeup, like maybe just like calmer hair. And I was like, okay. So like I really started like taking that in. It's hard. It's
hard because like I think you shine, and it's like, do they want to dumb you down? And if they want to dumb you down, why are they doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. And even with The Amazing Race, when we did that, we got casted as the models.
Wait, you and your best friend. Is this your best friend from the other one too?
Yes, this is the same. So we did Sports
funny.
Illustrated together in the same year and The Amazing Race. And
Are you allowed to talk about where you went, or you can't say it?
oh yeah, it already aired.
All right, so where did you go?
It already aired. We started in New York City,
Okay.
and we went from there to Iceland, and then we unfortunately got kicked off and
No.
spent the rest of our time in Rome for 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
We loved that part of it.
But did they underestimate you when because I know that all these reality shows have characters, and they're like, okay, these are the two cute but dumb girls.
Yes.
And did you surprise them?
We did so well with the competitions, and I wish they would have showed more of that, because we didn't really see that we killed the challenges and beat all these other teams and beat the men group. Like, they didn't show that. So I really wish they would have showed that. They showed us getting kicked off, and they showed me holding a map saying, problem number 1, I'm holding a map, like kidding around. Yes. So there were different things that I would have liked to see that we didn't get to see, but it was still amazing opportunity, and I got to do it with Kayla, my best friend. So
Yeah, so you've taken
We
these
had fun.
opportunities. I know. But like, you've taken these opportunities, because I mean, you know, the Sports Illustrated, and then Amazing Race, and you were even hometown hottie for Maxim magazine in 2013.
Yeah.
So you were still living back in Pennsylvania at the time.
yes, I won when I was still in Pennsylvania.
Was that like a huge thing in Pennsylvania? You must have been like the most famous person in your whole hometown, seriously.
It was huge, because I'm in a really, really small town called Apollos, where I'm born and raised. So we had like a bunch of different parties. It was like, come see Dessie, come get a Maxim signed. So it was really fun and an awesome opportunity to work with Maxim and get to know them. And then I got to travel to France with them. And
How cool.
yeah, different fun trips. So
So it was like international exposure.
yeah, it was really awesome for just being a small Pennsylvania girl, and it pushed me to want to move out here even more.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, if I can do something like that, like, what can I do when I have more chances and more opportunities?
Because I remember there were times when we would see you actually with a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, Brian, and I would see you and you would
Yeah.
fly in and then do a couple of jobs, and you would fly back home. And so were you supporting your modeling career then as a hairdresser, or you were?
Yeah, so I was working as much as I could in the salon, and then I would fly out here maybe once a month. It ended up being to model and work for different companies until I actually moved.
Now, having been here in LA for a while, what do you think has been your greatest challenge as far as, you know, getting into the modeling industry? Now you're not a huge fish in a small pond. You're like in the biggest pond for entertainment, probably in the world. And
Right.
when you first came here, you're like, oh my gosh, now what? You
Yeah,
know?
and I think when I first moved here, it didn't really click. Like, I was just excited to be here, and I was like, I'm going to take whatever opportunities I get. But definitely the biggest challenge is my height.
Why?
Well, I'm 5'5", so different agencies, the biggest agencies won't even see you. So they say most of them say 5'7" and taller. So would I ever get to meet with LA models? No. I met with Wilhelmina models once, told me I was too short. All I heard, I still hear, if you were just a few inches taller, if you were just a couple inches taller, you would be perfect for this.
Wow.
So that's the hardest thing.
Well, do you feel like now with today's, you know, social media, and like you said, you were the one that was proactive and you were able to get for submitting for Sports Illustrated. Do you feel like your social media and your numbers and everything have helped you to be able to get the jobs that you want to get because of being, you know, how do I say, height challenged? Or
Right.
whatever?
No, it is true though. It's definitely a thing that needs to change in the industry. I would love, when Sports Illustrated happened, I was like, okay, this is the time. Like, we're gonna break down walls. We're gonna get a petite model in Sports Illustrated. And then I made a top 15, walked in their runway show, which was huge as a petite model.
Oh, absolutely.
But still not getting in the magazine. They picked 6 girls to get in the magazine. There was 3 of us that were under 5'7". So I was like really hopeful, like one of us are gonna get picked. And then we didn't for the magazine. So I still hope that there's a chance that a petite model will grace a cover one time and break the barriers like Ashley Graham did.
Right, exactly, because I was about to say, don't you think that modeling is kind of changing in the sense that you have the plus size models now?
Yes.
And you have models with disabilities too, because I recently saw a model that had Down syndrome.
Yes.
You know, so I think that they're changing the way that we look at different types of models, Instagram models too. I mean, what do you think of that? That people are earning a living basically being on Instagram.
Right. I think it's great in a sense that these girls that maybe wanted to model, didn't have the opportunity, don't live in LA, can't live in LA or New York, are able to do that, and it's fun, and they're able to have their whole career just from Instagram. So I think in that sense it's great, but it also hurts other people because you go to different auditions, you go to different castings, and they want to know how many followers you have.
That's a whole new thing.
If there's a girl with 1 million followers, she might be getting the job over you because the company sees that and goes, so if she posts one photo,
it'll reach 1
a
million
million people are going to see this.
And you don't think that she could even be the most qualified for the job, that person might get the job over you.
Right.
You know, and so that might be challenging.
Exactly.
So anyways, Dessie, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you so
much. On the next episode of Models Talk, Pamela Francesca discusses the challenges of modeling at a young age and dealing with getting older and her ever-changing figure.